Hello everyone. So the time as I record this is 10 minutes to 2 in the morning on Monday the 6th of May 2026. So as you can see from the title of this video, yes, I will be talking about another election. So this video will be about the Scottish parliamentary election. So Scotland has a unicameral parliament, meaning it only has one chamber compared to two in the Westminster Parliament. And that parliament is, in terms of subnational parliaments, very powerful. It is in charge of health, education, environment, local government, and a whole lot more. So, this parliament has a lot of powers, and it has a lot of consequences in the United Kingdom as a whole as to what happens in this election. Like, the UK Labour Party won almost every single constituency in Scotland in the 2024 Westminster election, like Westminster general election. Like, I think the SNP got around 10 seats, probably less. Yeah, they were decimated in the last election. But somehow, Labour is probably not going to take government back or take back government from the Scottish National Party in this election, just less than 2 years after the general election. So, it's like a massive repudiation on the performance of the current UK Labour government led by Prime Minister Keir Starmer. But anyways, let me talk a little bit about how the elections actually work in the Scottish Parliament. It is also known as Holyrood. Like, the Parliament itself is also known as Holyrood. And it is elected by the additional member system. 73 of those seats. Oh, by the way, there are 129 members of the Scottish Parliament, also known as MSPs. 73 of those MSPs are elected in single-member constituencies via first-past-the-post. So you just write an X on a single candidate that you like the most, and whoever gets the most votes in that constituency wins that constituency. Excuse me. Anyways, so that's the constituency part. 56 of those seats are regional seats. There are 8 regions in the Scottish Parliament, 8 electoral regions, and each of those regions have 8 regional MSPs each. So 8 times 8, 56. Right? Oh wait, no. That's 8 times 7, 56. Good thing I corrected myself there. Anyways, that's 7 regional MSPs elected across 8 electoral regions, getting 56 regional MSPs. Also, by the way, the voting age in the Scottish Parliament is 16, not 18. No. 16. So 16 and 17-year-olds can participate in this devolved election. And, like, come on, it's a very consequential devolved parliament and also a very consequential devolved election. By the way, when I say devolved, I mean delegated. Like, there was this phenomenon in 1999 and 2000 called devolution, where there are only four major examples, or really just 4 devolved parliaments in the United Kingdom: the Scottish Parliament, the Welsh Parliament, the Northern Irish Assembly, or Northern Ireland Assembly, and the Greater London Assembly. It's in charge of Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland, and Greater London, respectively. Hence those names. And those four devolved parliaments have massive power in their jurisdictions, including this one, by the way, including Scotland. And I think, like, as I read a bit into how the powers are devolved, I think the Scottish Parliament is the most powerful one because it has control over taxation. Yes, it can tax people on its own terms. And when I checked, the Welsh Parliament can actually only increase a bit. Like, it cannot dictate, really. It just cannot, pass laws on how much it wants to tax the Welsh residents and the people living in Wales. But anyways, there are also limits to these four devolved parliaments. There are quite a lot of reserved powers, and reserved powers, I mean powers only reserved for the Westminster Parliament. The devolved parliaments cannot touch on those subjects like national security, broadcasting and telecommunications, and what is the other one? Currency, the economy as a whole in the United Kingdom. The devolved parliaments cannot touch those subjects. Not just those, but primarily those. But anyways, let me now get into the projections. There are now projections for the Scottish elections. Okay, anyways, let's begin with the Scottish National Party. By the way, all of these projections come from the Scottish branch of these parties because, well, it's a Scottish parliamentary election. The Scottish National Party is projected to win between 63 and 67 seats. 6-7. Next, Reform UK, Scotland. It is projected to win between 20 and 22 seats. Next is the Scottish Labour Party, which is projected to win between 13 and 15 seats, which is just abysmal for the Labour Party as a whole, not just in Scotland, but also in Wales, in the regions, and just everywhere in the United Kingdom. It's a massive repudiation, I just said, about the performance of the current UK Labour government. Next is the Scottish Greens, which is projected to win between 10 and 11 seats. Next, the Liberal Democrats will win 9 seats, is projected to win 9 seats, and the Conservatives, which are projected to win between 6 and 8, which is also very abysmal. This election is very bad, very terrible for the two major parties in the United Kingdom. But anyways, the Scottish First Minister, John Swinney, has called this election a referendum of some sort on Scottish independence, because yes, independence in Scotland is still widely debated upon. And John Swinney has explicitly stated that if the Scottish National Party wins 65 seats or more, which is a majority of the seats in the parliament, they will ask the UK government for a second referendum. The first referendum being quite narrowly defeated by the Remain vote, like remaining part of the United Kingdom. So yes, this will be a very interesting election to watch, and I do apologize if I was a bit incoherent. That is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and yes, this will be a very, very interesting election. Bye bye.